Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
The Moja Club makes awesome funky socks that you can buy individually. You can get a subscription, and by you, I mean you and the other guy. Sign up for 6 months or a year and get a pair delivered to your house every month. Get a pair, keep a pair. They'll even throw in one extra month free. And Cyrus Says listeners get a full 33% discount. Just go to their website, themojaclub.in, and use the code Cyrus Says. If you're looking for a foreign education, if you want work abroad, if you're an NRI, or if you're just a gangster on the run, On Course is the podcast for you. It'll teach you how to get your career in shape before you get yourself in shape. Check out new episodes on our IVM podcast apps. Happy listening, mother and fathers. Alright, please note that the language and ideas presented on the show might not be suitable for everyone. If you're under 18, make sure your mom isn't around. If you're over 80, why is your mom around?
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Yes, on Cyrus Says we meet Puneet Pania, the first Sindhi comic from Kandivali East to speak in English for more than 5 minutes without fumbling. He's a fantastic talent, but he doesn't like to be called PP, his pet name in public. Puneet Pania on Cyrus Says.
Why follow your auntie's advice when you can follow Cyrus Says on Facebook and Twitter to stay updated about the latest shows?
My friend Kunal Vijayakar has 2 colors on his glasses. This is a no-no in fashion. You should have only one color. As you can see, silver with black. That's one color because they're from the same family. Black becomes silver, like in your hair. Alright, but Kunal has yellow with silver. And that's not fair, even if you're blonde. It's called Cyrus Says.
And that's what Cyrus says.
And ready, 10, 9, 8, 7. If you're ready, I'll go to 1. 0, blast off! Ladies and gentlemen, presenting, once he puts his headphones on, that old man, Puneet Pania. One of the finest young comedians, technologically challenged like I am. Yes. You're like a baby. People can't see this, but you're like a baby who's just discovered headphones. You're playing with it, you're touching, caressing it. Yeah. You want to have 5 minutes to just do that, then we'll talk.
I'm fine. We'll get there.
Okay. I find them very obnoxious, but this is our producer Naveen's fault. He claims that if you wear them, we make sense to each other on an audio level. We can understand what we are saying.
Oh,
as
we
in
look
the levels
like
and
space chimps actually with this.
If we take off our clothes, we look like really cheap space porn, which I prefer between you and me.
Yeah, sounds like a genre.
Yeah. Look, where's our career going, Puneet? Anyway, let's just do this and get this over with. Puneet, let me introduce you before we do our bad jokes. I do the bad jokes. Comedian and founder of Chalta Hai Comedy. Okay? You don't talk now for a minute. I'll just explain to everybody who you are. Puneet, of course, if you haven't heard of him, is a corporate survivor. After 7 years of salaried experience, 7 years, he stood in that corporate environment and took shit from bosses who spat on him every day. He finally came out of the closet as an artist, so to speak. We don't know what his sexuality is. We'll find out by 15 to 20 minutes in the show when I put my finger in his navel and turn it twice. He is a single man behind Chalta Hai Comedy, an NGO without foreign funding. That is nice. Are you pointing fingers at all the foreign funding that's leaking out of our NGOs? Having produced over 250 shows over the past year, including several sold-out shows, Puneet is making himself believe that comedy is the answer to midlife crisis. We'll talk about all the different things he's done in the next 4 to 5 hours, of which 5 minutes we'll record. Puneet, welcome to our show. It's called Cyrus Says, again, simply because I'm an egomaniac and because the sponsor is me.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
You're welcome. 2 good reasons. Now, throughout the show, I will say your name to give you branding. So, for no apparent reason, I will be saying Puneet. Like, I'll be asking you what is the time, and you'll say 3:45, and I'll say Puneet.
Oh, okay.
That's the way we work this whole show. But no, let's start with you. Very interesting, and these stories are a little similar to some of the people we meet who go into what I call the non-lateral or unconventional businesses, such as comedy.
Yeah.
Corporate background. And amazingly, once again, a guy who's probably raised in a proper middle-class environment to become a corporate guy, and with all those, I call us the mutual fund generation. You're trained to think, mutual fund, save your money, and one day everything is going to end and you'll have your mutual funds. Yeah. And, all that. So quickly tell us about your life and how you went from corporate to cooperating with an audience.
So I was into writing since a long time, since college. There was no money coming from
writing. What do you write in the urinal? People don't take seriously, no?
The blog was a little better than the urinal. Actually, okay. I think the urinal got more views, but yeah.
I copy all my blogs from the urinal, but keep going. So you were an amateur writer, you would say?
Yeah.
As a kid?
Yeah, 18 years as a kid. College, Xavier's.
You're Xavierite?
Yes.
Oh, now we're going to compare batches and I'm going to realize I'm his dad and I'm going to hug him and oh God, then explain to him that I don't know who his mom is because it was a very happy 80s and 90s.
Not exactly Dad, but we used to see you come for Vox Pop all the time in the backyard and the foyer.
Oh, right.
Like, wow, this is a very cool job. This is what Xavier's people can do.
Okay, so you're a 90s college guy. Late 90s.
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s. That's good enough for me.
Yes.
That's only a few years away.
Yeah.
Not so bad, yeah. So when you used to come with a camera and shoot crap, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, in your shorts.
We got thrown out once, in spite of me being an old boy. A really old boy. For, I don't know why, something about asking women questions about clothes and all. Somebody got angry and they threw us out.
Oh.
It wasn't even about underwear. I don't know what it was. Can't remember. Because who remembers our questions?
Exactly. I already forgot your first question.
I belong to the first generation of comedians who don't even have any comedy. Yeah. Let's get back to you. So, when you say you were you writing funny? Because let's face it, there's very little English writing funny growing up.
Yes. I got 2 blogs, both of them humor.
This is in college?
Yes.
Okay.
One blog in college and then the second blog.
Take us to the first thing first.
So the first blog is called punnuspage.com.
Punnuspage.com. Sounds vulgar.
Yes.
Yeah. Punnu sounds like some baby elephant mating with a penguin. I just get all animal visuals when I think about it. I'm so sorry, but tell us.
So yeah, general stuff. Like usual short stories, existential poems, the kind of shit you do growing up. And that was the first blog. Did well.
He says like we all do existential poetry, but yes, go on.
And Orkut was big at that time.
Oh God!
Yes.
We are almost now similar. Wow!
Yes.
Orkut,
yeah, and we were like, it was hot at that time.
Were you popular?
Relatively, yes.
So
for a Kandivli boy, yes.
Oh. Oops! Opened himself up for reverse snobbery. Hate that. Listen, Baba, I want to ask you one thing. When you did this, were people interested in the blog and did they get you? Because you're quite sophisticated. I know we're being very self-deprecating, but you're a very sophisticated sort of way of thinking in terms of looking at things.
Yeah, it was like a close circle of friends at first, and people they would share it with. So like-minded people. So never really hit like mass popularity of any sort. And by that time, in a few years, all blogs went commercial, and the big companies sort of found out that online is the thing to do, and I couldn't catch up with sort of that trend. And before I knew it, I was out in the outside world and I had to get a job for myself. I had no plans, zero.
What were your BCom? BA?
BSc.
BSc, the worst degree. Let's just quickly talk about that for people listening. If you do a BSc in Mumbai, you're going to get no job.
Yes.
All right? Nothing. Zero.
Yep.
Please do a BA because at least you'll think of you as an artist or a teacher. Or BCom because your dad's in business, so you'll make some money. But BSc and nothing else after that means end of your life, right?
Yes.
Let's just be frank.
And I did the weirdest stuff. It was BSc in microbiology, biochemistry and environmental science.
By choice or you wanted to do penance?
By default, I guess.
What were you going to study? Zebra crossings? What's the hell use of microbiology?
Microbiology. And I wanted to do arts first. And even I got through in Xavier's, which was a big deal at the time.
You got into Xavier's? I thought 92% cut off in arts and all.
After 10th I did, like 11th standard.
Wow.
But mom had a very good argument. She said, arts to ladki log karta hai.
Very sexist for a mother, but good.
Yeah.
Good to know.
She was right statistically. So I was like, this kind of...
You idiot, I did arts. Call your mother right now. I did arts. And let me tell you, it was a pleasant surprise to walk into a room of 100 people, out of which 8 were boys and 92 were girls. Out of which 8 boys, 2 were gay. Out of the remaining 6, 1 was on drugs. The remaining 5, 1 guy never attended because he was too rich. So 4 boys to share 100 girls. Come on, even if I'm the ugliest of the 4, I get 3 girls, 4 girls. Come on, think about it. Okay, I got no girls, but this is a matter of maths.
We actually had a very similar sex ratio, even in microbiology.
Was it?
Yes, because.
Aapko kuch mila, sir ji?
I was,
in a matter of speaking?
I was too slow. By the time I got anywhere, the college ended.
There are 100 girls, 4 guys, and you were too slow. What does that mean? I mean, you're 4th, you still win. I'm giving you everything here.
No, it's a transition. Like, so when we see you in college doing Vox Pop, we're like, wow, cool job after Xavier's.
I want to be like Dad.
Yeah. But we forget it by the time I go back home in the train. No, like, वो धूप पसीने और भीड़ में सब भूल जाता आदमी.
So life crushed out your romance from your mind.
That and practical journals.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's cross. So you're doing this as an amateur thing, but you're getting fairly popular and Xavier's and these kind of colleges. And I suppose you were doing the circuits also by that point?
No.
Were you popular in the circuit?
No.
Not for your blog, but did you do any stand-up?
No, stand-up I just started 2 years back.
What are you saying?
Yes.
Okay. So let's then fast forward in your life. You went to corporate world.
Corporate world. So
what was the job?
MBA because no other plans in life. And
it sounds like this typical Sindhi story. College in the BSc, after that about turn MBA. okay.
Yeah.
Another 7 degrees to follow.
There's one called sort of detour in the middle. I did medical lab technology for a year. That's where you test blood, urine, other bodily fluids for.
Was this done so that you could get free sampling or something? What is the logic behind this?
Well, this was again the middle class dream. No? Like,
But you have some sort of science bent, that means, because you still with that microbiology, then there's lab testing.
Yeah.
Or was it the parents' pressure?
Parents' pressure, because they thought this is the only way he's going to break out of the mutual fund generation. Like, he's going to have a shop of his own. He's going to test urine in the morning, come home, take a bath. And that's the end of the day. He goes back home, signs a few.
Are you the oldest kid in the family?
I'm the only kid, which is also a problem.
You're the only kid, so all their dreams and aspirations were in you.
Yes.
You had to be the artist and the scientist and the craftsman and the commercial artist and everything
All
else.
the dreams and the fears also. So,
Which all have come true, so fair enough. So what job did you take? So let's talk about that lab thing for a minute. Why? What was that like?
So, it was torturous.
How do you take urine samples? Just take us through the whole process. What do you do? You give the box. I've always been intrigued when I do my urine sample because I always pee all around the rim. It's difficult sometimes to concentrate.
See, the trick is to get the midstream sample, because there's a reason for that.
But you can't be watching the guy, no? Because I get nervous if someone's watching me
yeah,
pee.
you have to trust him with it.
So you're telling him midstream, fire, us time pe fire karo.
Yeah.
But when you hold the plastic, do you realize that there could be dried pee all over?
Yes, but we have a disinfectant.
And you get used to it. You almost miss it after some time if you don't have it.
Yeah, it's science. So we treat it like that. All molecules and atoms and compounds.
And if it's a very pretty girl, what happens then? Are you more eager to get the sample?
This was the early 2000s, so there was no harassment suits happening at that time.
Right.
But again,
what a lovely world we had then for us men. Yeah.
Yeah. So that happened for about a year, and I was totally out of place because all the other people in the class, let's just say they were not the readers of my blog. Without sounding classist or anything. And
so these are actually guys who get good grades, but they are so unhip that you couldn't hang out for more than 6 seconds with them.
Good grades also is questionable.
But they're lab technicians, you have to get decent grades, don't you?
No, not really.
So you mean the guy who handles my blood, the guy who handles my urine, the guy who handles my life is a moron?
Good chances, More than 50% chances, yes.
What is the point of all that? I should just pee in my own cup and decide myself if I'm sick.
No, but their machines do all of it.
I think you should just taste your own pee, you'll know. They say if your pee is sour, you're in bad shape. Is that true?
Another 80s reference, yes.
Yes. And if your pee is from the 80s, it will be sour, so you have to be careful. All right, let's move away from lab technician. You obviously felt out of place. Yeah. Were you feeling frustrated? I'm asking this slightly seriously. Yeah. Because inside you obviously know that this is nowhere close to what you want to do with your life.
Correct.
And as you just said, you couldn't even relate to the guys, with no disrespect to them, but you just couldn't relate. Yeah. So were you now thinking, I need something else, and was there an idea about comedy?
And no, there was no plan as yet, because half of the batch from college, they migrated abroad in the guise of education, and they're gone. Like that. And the other half...
The typical Indian story where they go one way and don't come back. This is before Donald Trump.
Yeah, before Donald Trump. They get on the airport and then just make a run for it.
And now they're all in Mexico because of Donald Trump. Yeah.
So they're gone. The other half is doing MSc, and they're just barely alive. And
BSc, MSc, what is the story behind that? This is a false generation, really.
Yeah. And I did not want to do an MBA because I thought I was a communist at heart.
Sorry, you lost me now. Yeah. As much as I love your comedy, sometimes you need to paraphrase properly for us children. Because you're a communist, yes?
Yeah. So, it never appealed to me, the business part of things. Because artists and all that.
So, you don't like being paid for comedy?
That doesn't change anything. So,
you'll still be a comedian.
Yeah.
Is what you're trying to say. For all the sponsors out there, he's willing to work for very little. He's a very talented man. Itself is a little funny. Yeah.
So, I did an MBA.
So, the only communist comedian we know. Except for the whole CPIM, who's just not able to get a vote.
The word communist also is changing nowadays.
Yeah, I think the meaning has slipped a little bit here and there.
Yeah. So, I ended up doing an MBA. It was
Where?
In Bombay, NMIMS. It's
Sindhi Kota?
No, they have a Gujju quota. I don't qualify.
You lied? Kem cho?
I paid the hefty fee. That's all. And till that point, the fees were like nothing. Right? So what was the fee? In my school, the fee was 5 rupees for 5th standard, 6 for 6th standard, that sort of thing. So I paid like lakhs of rupees for the first time. I was like, okay, now I got to get...
You went from 5 rupees in 6th standard to lakhs of rupees for 14th standard.
Yeah, culture shock right there.
Congress government, who should we blame? I can't remember. Who was in power?
When in doubt, blame Narasimha Rao. That's my...
Narasimha Rao, classic vision. Thanks. Wait, I wish you could show it to everybody.
Yeah, or Nehru, is depends on your leanings.
My God, this partition is still at the back of your head, huh?
Yeah, colonial hangover. So, I did an MBA. It was pharmaceutical management MBA.
Wow.
Yeah.
So somewhere related to the lab medicine
science, yeah.
world.
So I was trying to still justify my BSc, still not letting go of it, right? I don't think it would have been to do a normal MBA and just move on with like.
At this point, I need to sneeze, but keep going.
Yeah. So then I ended up working for pharma companies in management, strategy, sales, that sort of a thing. It was an interesting job because I could use.
This is your 7 years in corporate.
Yes.
And you were okay, earning decently.
Decently is again debatable, but yeah, it was comfortable. By mutual fund standards, it was pretty
And
good.
don't compare yourself to Ratan Tata if that's your
Of
question.
course not. Yeah. I think for our generation, a corporate job is a government job.
I think for our fathers and mothers' generation, as long as the kid got the corporate job, everybody was happy. Nobody really cared about the salary. You just thought till 59 he's taken care of, but then I'm dead, I'm not responsible. So I think the mothers and fathers were thinking very clearly.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we can't do that now. We have to work till 90 to make sure our kids are okay. Please, take your pills.
Still the EMIs are going on after that also.
I know. Now, who'll pay that?
Yep.
Okay, now let's get to the main point, which is when did this change happen and Puneet Mania became the comedian and gave up the corporate world in just a flash?
So I kept writing throughout these 7 years, blogs. They're not really going anywhere, but
picking up in
a little bit, yeah. But never real money never coming out of it. Like I did some paid blogs also. Like I was writing for a health website for some time. Got some newspaper articles.
What would you write for the health website about urine tests?
Not all the time, but that was my favorite.
It's like 1, 2, 3 steps, right? Open, unzip, put in,
and
wait.
Midstream.
This sounds like a Russian poem now. Put in midstream.
And wash afterwards. So,
but that's a matter of opinion and conjecture. Now that you brought it up, I never wash. I mentioned this before. I never wash, and I'll tell you why, Puneet, now that you brought it up and insist on talking about it. Why do we wash the most clean part of our body? I thoroughly clean that part of my body, so I don't see the reason to wash it. Can you explain?
Explain thorough.
Because I clean it thoroughly early morning, I put it inside an underwear, it doesn't go anywhere after that. And then when I pee, why should I wash it?
Because the pee itself could be...
The pee doesn't go anywhere, it goes straight inside.
Actually,
I don't pee inside my underwear.
It's a good point, because the pee is double distilled already.
There you go. Yeah. See, you know so much, brother. Yeah. You wasted your time in comedy. You have so much more to offer in terms of urine therapy, for one thing. I interrupted you, let's get back.
Yeah, but Gaumutra is the thing now, like...
Be very careful.
Yeah.
The government listens to this podcast. No, you can't cut it. Now you and me need to get another MBA and find another country. Yeah. Okay, so you're in the corporate line, you're doing all this, earning, as you said, relatively okay. Parents are hopefully satisfied that at least he's now in the right path.
Yeah.
And then you're getting popularity with the blog.
Yeah.
And when do you dip your foot into stand-up?
So I talk to people in media, marketing, that sort of a thing, and ask them about how to go about writing. I want to do it as a career eventually. I can't see myself growing old in a cubicle somewhere. Despite a salary going up year after year, it just didn't appeal to me. So they said that to be taken seriously as a writer, you should do a book first. Because aisa to kabhi kuch hone nahi wala. You need to be an expert at something or a celebrity.
Right.
Or both, preferably, to get anywhere as a writer. Like Twinkle Khanna is a writer now, like just because he decided to.
All right. Yeah. So I take it you're not happy. Because you can't be an actress, so I can understand why she's taking your work away.
I couldn't be any of those things, and you can't just be a good writer from Kandivali. It will not work.
Well, you can. It could be a colouring book. It could be anything. You could find different options.
Let's just say the chances of success are very low.
Okay.
Statistically speaking.
Kandivali is really weighing down heavily on you for some reason. By the way, is it west or east?
East.
Oh, Jesus.
There you go.
Kya bolega abhi? I don't have an answer. Why did you give up the job?
Have you ever been to Kandivali?
Of course.
Yeah, in a
this what do you call it? Rustomji Constructions?
Oh, okay. So you came in an armored vehicle.
Yes. Something like that.
Looking at the wildlife.
Chief guest. Yes.
There you see Mr. Desai foraging in the dustbin.
No, I picked up Gujarati in 2 colonies.
So, book was the next step. So I actually took a month's vacation, or let's just call it a sabbatical, sounds cooler.
Yeah.
From the job, went away to Goa and wrote a book from scratch. 30 days. And that book was called Chalta Hai, by the way. It was humor again. And started pitching it to publishers. And it was not going anywhere. I mean, I kept getting rejection notes, which was fine. But that sort of appealed to me. I started writing longer version after. Because blogs are short, right? Books are much longer.
But you can put 30 blogs together and make like half a book.
Those are 2 of my books are those. Yeah.
There you go. See, you know the way.
Yeah. So I wrote 4 books by the end of, say, 2 years.
But not published.
No. I got 2 contracts, but they were from small-time publishers, and it looked like, what? I'm just fooling myself. Let's just drop it. So there were 2 contracts, but I didn't go through with them. One guy even swindled me out of like $70,000 in the name of...
What kind of Sindhi are you?
I'm a bad one. Yeah.
Really bad? Firstly, you're funny. I grew up in Sindhis. You're the first guy who told jokes.
Oh yeah, I've got the worst of both worlds. So I'm a Sindhi Brahmin, so we are vegetarians. We have very little business sense, and still we suffer from the stereotype of being a Sindhi.
But great opinions.
Ha.
Great opinions from both sides.
Yes.
Oh, we have to take a quick break. I've just been given the signal by Naveen, our producer. He removes all clothes and then uses his legs like a traffic signal coordinator. He
Wow,
wipes them over his head to give me a signal.
It's a very colourful job.
And I think we need that urine cup because I think we're in danger of a little leakage here. We'll come back. We have to talk about the entire career now in the next 6 minutes.
All right.
With Puneet, the one and only stand-up comedian from Kandivli
East.
Hi, I'm May, and I'm a huge fan of the indie music scene in our country. A scene that's relatively underground, even though it sometimes speaks its head overground. But there's no shortage of talent, and I get the privilege of interviewing some of the most awesome musicians on my show. I've had the likes of Euphoria, Krish Kale, Hardcore, Randolph Correa. I've had singer-songwriters, folk singers, electronic music producers, playback singers, rappers, fusion artists, instrumentalists, classical musicians, and so on. Whether mainstream or not, these people have chosen to release their original music, and these are the people currently shaping the direction in which our music scene is heading. Join me on my show every Monday and tune in to discover the unique talent coming out of India today. You can catch Made in India on your favorite podcasting app or our very own IVM podcast app.
Back here with Puneet, the first Sindhi from Kandivli East to get swindled while trying to make a career for himself. Let's find out the whole story here in breaking news, even though it's really old stuff. Go on, tell us.
So I tried like 50 publishers. Maybe I have an Excel sheet of people who had rejected me. So I don't.
What do they say when they reject you? Just sorry, or they give a proper reason?
They have a copy-pasted email. So sometimes it's like, "Hi Samantha, I'm sorry, I can't pick up your manuscript." And I'm like, "All right." At least they send that. Some people, they make it clear that if you don't hear from us in 3 months, please move on in life and don't kill yourself.
3 months is a long time. Huh?
Yeah, some people are 6 months. So
you're still waiting. Okay.
And if you see Indian fiction, like you walk into any bookstore and just see the section called Indian fiction, 9 out of 10 books have like the word love in them or there's a heart on it. It's like it's a mandatory requirement. And it's sometimes like, it speaks to
and many are tax returns.
Yeah, could be.
That's it.
It's so. I mean, it speaks to your inner arsonist. Like, and I knew that this is the way to make it. Like, write a pulp fiction novel, like, with the whole formula. A love story, girl meets boy, boy is a turkey but gets the girl anyway.
So Chetan Bhagat with better English?
Worst, English is better.
Okay.
Apparently that's the thing. So it was not going anywhere. And then this one publisher pitched partner publishing to me. That's the way they said. There's something called self-publishing.
So like crowdfunding, but two of you all.
Yeah. Just me.
Yeah, it turns out, as it turns out. Yeah.
And there's something called self-publishing, which some people call vanity publishing for good reason. And I managed to fool myself into doing it because...
So it's masturbatory publishing? Is that the right word to use actually?
That's a better term.
I think so.
That's beautiful.
Thank you so much. It's yours now. From Malba Hill to Kandivli. Both our struggles documented in one line.
Yeah, so... I did that. I lost that money and then...
what are you doing? Go slow. You put 70 grand in.
Yeah.
As in you gave it to him.
Yeah. And...
you gave him 70 grand cash.
Wire transfer.
You wire transfer 70 grand into his account.
Yeah. It's somewhere in Hooghly or something like that. Like
Hooghly is a river.
Yeah, he has a boat house.
So we don't know where he is. He's on the river at any point.
He has a website and that's his only qualification.
So he disappeared. He just took 70 grand and disappeared off
he didn't disappear. He signed a contract which was like the worst contract ever. And that was as good as signing the book away.
What's his name?
Fucking forgot. I'll email it to you.
What kind of Sindhi are you? You lost 70 grand. You don't even know who the guy is. You don't even care deep down.
It's like
you give me an address in Hooghly. I think you meant Hubli, which is with a B, but I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I need to talk to somebody else.
It's like a repressed memory now.
Okay, fair enough. The pain is too much. You said it's like all my girlfriends for them. So you lost 70 grand.
Yep.
Now, were you disillusioned now? Because as you said, we're joking about it now, but it must have been a little painful because no one is taking you seriously. The rejection after rejection.
Yeah, and I lost the money, and then it was not really going anywhere. But I knew giving up is not an option because I got nothing else going for the writing.
Did you go back to the job after the 30 days sabbatical?
Yeah.
Okay, so you still had your job.
They welcomed me back.
They told you, I told you, beta, you're not a writer. Come, sit down.
Yes.
Cubicle number 3.
Yep.
59. When you turn 59, huh?
The good thing about the job was it involved traveling. So sales and marketing job, I've been all over the country. Like I must have seen 20 states out of all the states in the country.
Yeah.
And
as we speak, 2 more being formed, but still.
yeah,
You've done well. 20 is good.
I lose count. Like I don't know exactly how many now. 28, 29.
They're 30 complete, I'm told.
Oh wow.
30 batting.
Beautiful.
But I don't know, by the time you download this, it could be 43.
Could be.
Anything can in politics in India.
Yeah. And union territories. Like I never
Oh
got
God,
those.
what is with union territories? What is the difference anyway? Can someone explain to me?
I thought Kandivali was a union territory for some.
For you, life begins and ends at Kandivali. But for me, I just want to stay as far away from there as possible. Just kidding. Okay, so you've not got the contract. How does your life change?
So one of my friends suggests that, dude, you know what? You write well and you write humor. Why don't you try the same sort of writing live? So I'm like, how? He said you could do stand-up at an open mic. And till that point, I had no clue what an open mic
And
is.
you've never seen a stand-up performance?
I seen one like years back at Blue Frog.
Okay, where you can't hear anything anyway.
I thought it was hilarious that
Yeah?
time.
Who was the guy?
That time it was Neville Shah, Barucha, both
Neville Shah,
the Nevilles.
the MTV guy.
No, the SNG guy.
Okay.
That's
Okay, the thinner guy or the fatter guy?
both of them are there that day.
But both together? How confusing is that? The thin Neville and the fat Neville together?
Yeah.
So like a naval base only. Freaking Neville's everywhere.
There was Nick Pillow at that time.
Nick Pillow, that's my producer's. You work together with this guy a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
him.
He had to be a comedian with the surname as Pillow.
Pillow,
It's
yes.
like Preeti Zinta's husband. His name is Good Enough. I'm like so confused. Whenever their team plays a Punjab, whatever it's called, somebody shouts, "Hey, Good Enough," and the team's lost. He says, "Yeah, Good Enough." It's just so confusing when that happens. Sorry,
So,
Nick Pillow.
And Aditya Desai was new at that time. I was just doing a spot.
Okay.
And it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen because I'd never seen live stand-up before.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to see Seinfeld, like you said,
Yeah,
but live
yeah.
is a different thing.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I forgot about it after that. But then after many years, like 7 years into the job, a guy told me, why don't you go to open mics?
So you saw one, and then for 7 years you never saw another.
Yeah.
And you liked it and you didn't see another. You were so poor. On Kandivali there was no stand-up.
It is. People look down at jokes that we do about local, being from the suburbs. But it's a very real thing. Like, for example, the first generation of comedians in India, all of them are townies.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like
all of them.
name one.
Huh? This says you.
I'm an out-of-work actor. I'm a hero.
There's all of them. Look, Kamra.
Javed Jaffrey?
Jaffrey is I don't know.
He's a Bandra boy. I would call him amongst... stand-up. Kamra.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So what is your point?
Everybody.
The comedians were richer initially.
No, it's just
Then
like...
the more pained, angst-ridden,
it's a-
hardcore comedians.
It's a more natural part of your lifestyle. It's like I went to Palladium, I did bowling, and then I tried some stand-up also. No, but I had to catch the last train back home.
Okay, fair enough. Huh.
So it's a very real thing. So, and eventually we'll all get over this sort of hangover. It's like how a girl, when she first starts doing stand-up, she'll probably do men bashing because that's her worldview, right? So for me, my worldview is like the suburban side of things, like looking
But
out.
I've seen you do a whole, of course, this is many years later and you're more refined artist and all. But I've seen you do this corporate bashing one, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Or making fun of the corporate experience.
Yes.
Which I thought was bang on and which only came because you spent those 7 years there. Because
Exactly.
you have to have that truism in your mind
Yeah.
to then spin with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is it fair to ask you to do a minute of that? Because that I rolled down laughing, me and my so-called partner Kunal.
It's there's one on corporate WhatsApp groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like so, and all companies have these groups now, and it's like part of your KRA, right? And in the group, the boss is obviously the boss in the group also. So people keep sending these good morning forwards and whatever they can get their hands on, no? And but on the day of sales closing, not a single message. Like it's like Sannata in the group, and then suddenly the boss will send some random message like "Life is a journey." And immediately, like 100 replies, "Sir, kya bola hai, sir? With you, sir. Sir, totally with you, sir. Are you sure you're not Jesus, sir?" And then the boss will say, "Sorry, wrong group." So again, it goes silent. And what happens is then the boss gets so encouraged. He starts talking in his motivational course even offline.
Yeah.
Like, so you ask him, "Sir, did you see the Excel sheet I sent you?" He's like, "No, dude. Seeing is believing." But, and that's when I realized that, there's a fine line beyond which you start believing in your own bullshit. And that line is called leadership.
Yeah.
So I do this in corporate shows and it destroys because the boss is sitting in the front row and he's just covering his face.
But you got a lot of empathy. I've seen the show. It was a live show that you've done with exactly this audience, and the audience is eating out of your hand because you're getting the whole the corporate experience, so to speak, which I think is a lot of Indians, upmarket Indians, understand that world and have been through that world and understand there's a lot of hypocrisy and bullshit.
Yes.
You expose the underbelly from urine therapy to corporate. You have exposed via Kandivali East to the pain and angst of that packed train that you took back.
It's like
while the South Bombay comedians went by Uber. So unfair.
That's the forward of my autobiography.
What? Those bastards took an Uber and got a group discount. Okay, come on, Puneet. Let's now talk about your. You make it as a comedian. So it takes a lot of guts to throw away a corporate job. You come from a proper background where everybody wants this stable job. Let's face it. For those who don't know or grew up even after you, it's very hard in our generation to not have a stable
very
job.
Important, In middle class household is stability all the way, then death.
Absolutely, that's your train. Stability is everything. So how did you get to do that? How did you chuck it away? How did you? When did you have the guts?
The first year I was doing both the job and the stand-up, and after the first,
which was funnier? Okay, don't answer.
The job, I think the stand-up still needs to improve.
So you haven't told us your first stand-up, because see, now you've seen a little stand-up. Someone's encouraged you to do that. Your blog is doing well. You want to be a writer, but you're not getting published. Then when did you get your first stand-up gig?
So you don't get a gig first. You do open mics first, like where all the amateurs do the 4 minutes.
But you had the guts to do it. On your own. Nobody said, Puneet, I like your stuff. I think you have to do this.
Yeah, so a friend of mine suggested that you should do
male or female,
mics.
naked, drunk, drugged?
Male, I don't talk to him now.
Oh,
much.
Great. As long as he doesn't not talk to you. Why don't you talk to him?
He's doing a PhD somewhere. He's too busy.
Okay, he won't understand corporate humor.
Not entirely.
Okay.
He'll understand startup humor.
Okay. Or he won't if things don't work out. So some guy pushed you, because there's got to be guys around you. I was just thinking, a lot of us guys who think we're comedians, growing up, people think you're funny and all that. Makes a big difference because they push you a little bit. And then you start believing your own myth, like you said, and so you start thinking you're funny, etc.
Believing your own myth.
But you need that, right? I'm presuming then you go and you start doing this, because it's a new experience. They're strangers. It's a whole ball game which is different from just the three friends.
I used to do public speaking a fair bit.
That is on a train going to Kandivali, which is different because you just trying to get your bag. It's so different.
As the lead singer of the Bhajan Mandali.
There you go. Don't compare those things.
So the stage fear was not the biggest challenge.
First time was where?
Prithvi Cafe open mic. First Mondays.
Prithvi, what kind of crowd would come there? They want Chekhov and they see you. What? I'm worried.
They're all poetry guys. Most of them. And they don't take.
So you should rhyme your comedy.
As long as there's some social element to it, I guess. They don't take kindly to comedy.
Wear a kurta, you'll be okay.
Oh, that's a good start. Yeah, that's good advice. That's a start.
Now, come on, tell us. You must be a little worried because this is a very important point in your life when you do it the first time. Tell me what it was like.
So it was Prithvi open mic and all poets and me and maybe one more comic, and he was doing some Abhishek Bachchan joke. The mic got pulled away from his hand because the hostess said, "No, there is enough crap from you today."
Are you kidding?
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Why? Who's she to decide?
She is the host, so she runs the place.
What, like, don't make personal comments on celebrities? Is that it, or just didn't like it?
No, didn't like it.
And then you came up next?
After a few more poets, some more crying, and then...
Oh, Jesus. Man, if you pass this test, it's always going to be good for you.
I kind of passed it. I did reasonably okay.
What was your copy?
So, it was about, I think it was about dowry or some shit like that.
Oh boy. A sarcastic take on dowry? Or I really like it, and if you don't get it, it looks like I'm supporting dowry.
No, it was a sarcastic take on it, and it was I just took a paragraph from a book only, from Chalta Hai, the book. And people liked it, but not the environment to do stand-up really. And the hostess was kind enough to buy me a cup of coffee afterwards. She said, "You did well."
Was she pretty?
No. How do you answer that question? Like,
I don't know. I'm thinking you get something out of that night, yaar. The girl liked you. I was just thinking for encouragement. You performed, she liked you, and then the girl is not even pretty. There are poets who are like, why talking in the middle of all of our angst and pain?
I don't know, 50 or something. You know that I forgot the name. What's the name?
Okay, now don't take a name. Leave the names out. No names.
Yeah, so I did that twice. And then some people told me, dude, if you want to do stand-up, this is not the place. Go to Hive open mic. And that's where the action is. And I went to Hive right here.
Huge difference.
Yeah. And it's only comedy happening. And
people who encourage you and smiling and laughing. So much better.
Most of the time, yes.
And by now, what kind of, do you change your act all the time, or was it the same act you were trying to
I
polish?
changed it a bit, polished it a bit, and but it was still very prosaic, because I come from that blog writing background. And stand-up is all about punches, shorter sentences, get to the point.
See, I know what Prozac is. I mean, I don't know to ask myself. For someone who doesn't know, what is Prozac? Is it a medication or something from your lab technology days?
It's like it's being a poet in denial. That's Prozac.
Okay.
You say the same thing that you can say in 2 words and you take a paragraph for it.
Like instead of saying "Asman upar se gir gaya tha," take half an hour. I understand.
So I'm still to get over that. I feel a bit. I'm still not the complete stand-up comic mood yet. But I
You're a work in progress.
Yeah.
It's good. So you don't have a big ego, which is great, which is wonderful, which means you'll go nowhere. Because in India, if you don't have confidence and overconfidence, you can't do anything.
Correct. Yeah.
All the successful people are overconfident or super confident or sons of confident people.
Yeah, I agree. It's inheritance.
You can't. You're a very Western person. You need to go to the West and be very straightforward. See, straightforward doesn't work. I've tried it. Your watchman stops you and you tell him, Mr. Mehta, he doesn't know who Mr. Mehta is. But if you say, Mr. Mehta ka baap, with that authority, then he's like, he starts shaking and all that. This is the way it works in this.
Yeah, it's
not my fault, brother.
Yeah, and I can't go to the US now because Trump, so...
Yeah, you can.
Yeah?
Kandivali is closer. Malabar is further. You're much closer to the US, as far as I'm concerned. Puneet, before we wind up, let's talk about what's happening now, okay?
Yeah, so
let's fast forward. You've become an entrepreneur. You've got all kinds of... 250 shows. What does that mean?
So, after the first few open mics, I started doing shows of my own, started organizing, and that really took off at the time. Because at that time, there was no other independent producer in the city. Now we have quite a few of them.
Copying you.
Let's say inspired.
Yeah. Chalta Hai Comedy is your own troupe or some group of people together?
No, so it's my own brand or banner, if you'd like to say that. But there are regular performers. So all the comics are freelancers. They're free to work anywhere.
Okay, or work for free, depending on how the gig is.
Yeah. Or do pole dancing, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's a gig also, by the way.
I take it. I don't use the word prostitute, but as an artist, you do what you have to put food on the table for your children and sometimes for other children who may be your children. But you got to do what you have to do.
So there are regular performers who do these shows with us. We have properties. Like there are shows that we do month after month. So there's a show called Badvertising. It's all bad ad. There's a show called Dirty at 8:30.
Dirty at 8:30. That sounds like South Bombay. Because suburbs when you wake up at 9:30, 10:30. Huh?
And then we have a show called Undateable. So we do these all around town with the regular performers. We also do open mics now. So I organize myself. Where anybody is free to come and perform. So these shows over the past, say, 2 years, we've done about 300 of them now.
My God.
And half of them, the first year I was doing the job also. So I was practically doing triple shifts. Like I was doing
so
this.
9 to 5 in office.
Yeah. Then I'm doing this and then some catching up with some work. So I'm sleeping like 3 hours a day.
Why did you give a corporate job which was so easy to do, so much hard work, and then turns out to be comedy at the end of it?
It was not the easiest.
I've never worked more than 2 hours a week. I have to tell you. And even then I crib.
Oh man, 2 hours a week. So
you set a standard as a young man and it's never going to change. It's like when you marry a woman, she's not going to look different. Vice versa also. So, that's the way it is. So, bro, I'm telling you, don't start working so hard because where will you go after that? Start working less so that you have very low standards. You'll never feel too much pain.
And overconfidence.
Overconfidence, brother, especially with Watchmen.
This is the formula for success.
Yeah.
So I did this for about a year and then I said, this is killing me. I need to do this full time for the comedy.
But the money was coming in now. If you're doing 300 shows in volume, you're getting money here.
Yeah.
And you're not paying. You're a typical Sindhi business. But you're not paying the other guys. Come on. Are you?
I do, but it's not much. It's just
the communist. Naveen has put his middle finger up. Our producer, he's worked with you. Middle finger came flying there. I don't know about payment. He drinks a beer and walks around the aisle. That's what he told me.
I'll PTM it to you, dude.
Following the right path. Okay, before we wind up and do the AMA, what's happening next now?
So I left my job about a year ago. Now this is full time. And now I'm dividing my time between performing myself and producing. So I got to draw a line somewhere in the middle there as to balance both of them. And I'm staying away from other gigs, like no distractions, only stand-up. Because we do get offers for writing or some sketch video somewhere, some bullshit.
But it'll take away your time and talent.
Yeah.
So, but 300 shows is a lot of work. But if you're really doing 300 shows, where's the time for anything else? 3 hours a day sleep.
Exactly.
Do you masturbate at all?
Twice a day, once in the morning.
So you do this while the show's on or in the 3 hours?
Morning is by myself. Evening could be the show. If the jokes don't work, then back up.
Oh, sometimes that's what the jokes are. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just freewheeling here. Let me just play with myself for 5 minutes. Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
It's a performance art.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Puneet, I have no problem. Once I pay money, I'm going to laugh because of the way I'm brought up. If you spend money, you get your paisa vasool. I'm going to laugh even if you don't say anything. You just stand there, which is what my marriage became after some time. But let's talk about more things on the AMAs. Puneet, we'll see and hear more of you as Chalta Hai comedy goes from strength to strength. And just want to say in your defense, having made a lot of fun, wonderful mind. I hope it stays that way. Body is terrible though. Body is terrible. You got to do more push-ups. It's called Chalta Hai Comedy. I'll repeat that. Chalta Hai Comedy. Check it out. Puneet, he's got his own spin. Trust me. A little different. Hairy eyebrows.
What's the best new restaurant in town?
Which bar sucked?
What's the worst new Hindi film?
What's the most obscure thing to do on the weekend?
And what's the most interesting new walking tour?
If you want to know how to make the most of Bombay, listen to the Podcast by thedailypow.com. We are Pronuti.
Amit?
And Purva.
We're your guide to what to do, see, and eat in the city. You can find new episodes of the podcast every Monday on the IVM Podcast app or any other podcasting app that you prefer, and on thedailypow.com.
If you have any questions for Cyrus, write to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Or you can send an email to whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
Okay, time to hit us with the AMAs. Questions we don't want to answer. Amit and Naveen have joined us.
Yes, I have.
So, Amit, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay.
Always ready.
I think Naveen first time.
No, second time.
Second time,
Second
Naveen.
time.
Yes. God.
It's so forgettable, right?
You're right. Off
Why
you
is
go.
this only the second time? You're staying in the damn studio every time.
I'm too actually taken aback by Cyrus usually.
Okay.
I think it's also a size issue because only two of us can fit at a time normally.
Okay. So then adding me to the equation makes sense, right?
No pun intended. Yeah, go on.
All right, Mahim Gautam asks, and Mahim is a very dedicated question sender.
Yeah, or a place in Mumbai.
Yeah.
No, but he sends. I see his email almost like every week.
Yeah. I hope he smells better than Mahim though. Do you think India should return the favor of renaming some of top Chinese cities as a tit for tat? Like, why don't we call Shanghai Shanigao?
I think I will really upset them.
What is the context of this
I
question?
think to attack, sort of hurt China's sensibilities by renaming their cities from our point of view.
But if we rename the cities, how does that?
They absolutely don't care. It makes no
Yeah,
difference
how
to their
does-
lives.
how- why- what do-
But it's his spit into the ocean. Like,
Okay.
to use
Yeah.
Contribution to the mankind.
Yeah.
Or rather, his
to
contribution
bring countries together
futility,
by naming
right?
them all after Indian people.
But
I think we should
don't-
call everything Sunny and Bunty.
There is there something going on where China is calling Indian cities by different names or something like
No,
that?
they just decide what part of the world is theirs.
what
That's
is
the
trying to take
problem.
over?
Okay.
Their
Yeah,
geography is always askew.
that
They're
is
constantly
all correct.
encroaching, right? Like every
Yeah.
1,000 kilometers will take 1 year.
And we aren't. We used to have sea, my friend. Sea. Darya, Samudra. Yeah, Mahim is a difficult point you make there. I don't know what to say exactly because I've never been to China. I do want to go once at least.
I would like to go to
I
China.
want to know if the Chinese food that I eat in South Bombay is anything close to the Chinese food in South
No.
Beijing.
There's
What
more.
do they call Chinese food in China?
Malaysian?
Food.
It's a French joke. Or Mandarin food.
Okay, now that we've not answered Mahim Gautam's unbelievable question, let's
Yes.
move on to the next.
Let's go to the next one.
Okay, next is from Varun. What is your favorite comic book of all time?
Oh, Amit, come on. Favorite comic book of all time?
Okay, so graphic novel Sandman by Neil Gaiman.
Nice.
Comic book Archie and Veronica or Betty or whatever the hell. I mean, like, that's the only like regular comic
Oh
books I
no,
read.
Asterix. Unbelievable.
Oh,
Asterix
so-
number 1.
I never really read
Are
Asterix
you
regularly.
crazy? Leave the
Yeah.
room now. You're punished
I'm
forever.
not saying I've not read it, but it wasn't like a thing that I would read.
There are some moments in some Asterix comics which is like the funniest moments in the
Yeah,
history
yeah.
of the
But I
world.
believe that they got lost in translation. Like a lot of the comics that I
But
read.
I can read them in French.
That's why. That's why.
I don't speak French, but I still read them. Doesn't stop me.
I thought you were a Tintin guy, though.
No, Asterix first. Tintin somewhere in the top 5, but Asterix for sure. And then I loved Amar Chitra Katha for sure.
love
Yeah, yeah.
I learned a lot about
I
Indian
do too.
history.
Tinkle, man.
Everything
Tinkle
I
was
know
my.
about Indian
Only
history
the skin
comes from
color
Amar
of the
Chitra Katha.
warriors is always a little
Fairer, yeah.
Well,
No, it's
yeah,
blue,
odd.
no? They're all about the-
yes, I won't
so
get into
blue
it.
is dark,
I say we'll
right?
leave it. I say we'll leave it there. But and DC and Marvel. Who doesn't have a DC and Marvel in
Name
them?
5 DC characters, Cyrus.
5 DC characters?
Yes.
Hulk?
No.
Sorry, DC. Superman, Batman, Robin,
Think about the movie that's just coming up.
Wait, Green Arrow.
Yes.
Green
correct.
Arrow is actually this
Green
thing.
Arrow?
They only call him Arrow in the
in the show.
Yeah.
Correct. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Not bad.
Yeah, thank
The
you.
Geek Food guy will be proud.
No, listen, I love my comics. This is not fair.
No, you do.
Because comics are cheap books. Anything cheap, I like.
That's true. I used to actually go to the Raddiwala and pick up 2 rupees ka tinkle. Somebody
You're
else.
talking to a generation who used to read.
Yeah.
Don't be rude, young man.
But
Y'all just look at the movies and then tell us about it.
No, we had our
I didn't know
own
Batman was so dark. I read every single Batman comedy and then I watched the Batman movies and he gets darker and darker as a character. Now I'm so scared. Batman was a Superman amongst the worst films I've ever seen. Now that you bring
Definitely
it up.
the
Worst films I've ever seen.
So it wasn't. I mean, that's.
No, it became like a Hindi film. Mama,
It
you
was a
cannot
Hindi
defend
film.
it.
It was a Hindi film.
Okay, it was too slow. What was
It
Wonder Woman
was.
doing? Even she didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm
Also,
a Wonder Woman
ruined
fan.
her appearance also.
Yeah. And she was so
They
much.
did do that.
Yeah.
They should
Wonder
not have
Woman
put
is
her
so
in there.
sexy in comics.
Yeah.
As a young boy, there was one of those get-off comics things.
Yeah. But I mean, like the Wonder Woman movie trailer looks pretty good. I don't know if you've seen that.
I'm going for the movie.
All the straight boys.
I'll
are
give it a
like
second
this.
chance.
Yeah, the movie looks good.
Okay, he's saying something here. A little non-straight boy wants his voice heard. Let me tell you.
No, I'm just saying.
Let me tell you.
As per the hotness level, this is acceptable level of hotness.
You want to watch Wonder Man? That's fine with me. I just want the film to be crisp.
I just want Superman to wear
But
his
I
underwear
don't think
outside
that's
now.
gonna happen, right?
He
Because
wasn't?
No, the new Superman doesn't wear his underwear outside.
What is
you
wrong
talking
with
about?
Superman?
Yeah.
This
The
is
new
what they-
Superman does not
Oh,
wear his
yeah,
underwear
you're
outside.
right.
But
Okay,
that's
he
the
does-
fundamental rule of any superhero. You have to have your
Exactly.
underwear outside.
Good thing is you
and
can
in Wonder
see-
Woman's case, the bra. You have to have it outside.
Outside, yeah.
Okay, next.
I never thought of that, but yeah, you're
But
right.
what if a bra was invisible like a plane?
It is. It caused a lot of trouble, especially when security checks happen.
All right, last question. Did you finally find out why Kattappa killed Bahubali?
Well, I got to tell you, 1,000 crores, but not a rupee from my family. Bahubali, I respect you. Nothing has come from the brochures. My poor daughter wants to see it, but we can't find anyone to take. Amit, will you take my daughter to see Bahubali 2? The Untold Story?
I would have to see Bahubali 1.
But I know you guys love Star Wars and even Star Trek and all
right.
that. But I have to tell you, some of their plots and some of their stories are just ridiculous. And with Bahubali doing so well, at the end of the day, is it really 1,000 crore sort of?
Even I haven't watched it, but someone told me it's like Angry Birds. Like there's a scene where a guy actually catapults himself with a bunch of trees and then breaks the barrier, and I'm like, okay, cool. That sounds
No,
interesting.
it's a fantasy movie, right? From what I
So
understand.
you got to go with that
you gotta
mindset.
go with that mindset, right? You
And
can't go there looking
But the
for
moment they
realism.
charge you 4,000 rupees for a family, your fantasy is broken.
Yeah, but
and reality hits you.
And that's the problem. That's just generally
They can't charge so much money.
Did you see the new Inox seats?
Look, I have got a simple. This is what happened on my honeymoon. I'm going to tell you the truth. My wife is a art lover. She's an artist and she's very talented. And we had to go through museum after museum and art hall after art hall and what have you. And after some time, I couldn't bear it anymore. And I told her I only want to look at nudes. So finally, she took me to a lot of nudes, and they were all really fat women. So you got to understand that if they're not fat women who are naked, I can't watch things after some time. This is because of my early marriage.
Totally agree with you.
Thank you. What do you know about fat women, nude or otherwise?
I've-
Leave my market
I've
alone.
had my
I have
fair
enough
share.
competition.
I've had my
Stay
fair
in
share.
your market.
See, every gay boy goes through that whole orientation
What are
process.
you
with
saying?
them. Yeah.
So you were straight first.
No, I dated girls first.
Why?
Just
to
to
find
see.
your way to the
To the magic kingdom of
of
Venuses.
the brother. What? Jesus.
You have to go to the Valley of Vaginas to end up.
So I had the same story as you because I
Oh, you were
dated
gay
girls.
first?
No, I dated girls and it went nowhere. So it's very similar.
join the rainbow side.
There you go.
All right, that's it.
And that's it. That's our show. Thank you, Amit. Thank you, Naveen. And thank you, guest, whose name will not be mentioned because he left. Just walked out. Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps. Please, we beg you. We need you. If you have any questions, write to us online and you can mail us as well. We will answer. We have a doctor in the house called May.
And that's what Cyrus says.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Sorry to say, but there's been a slight delay due to the apocalypse having suddenly begun. As you can see, there's death, destruction, and chaos taking place all around us. But don't you worry, food and drinks will be served shortly, and I would recommend checking out IVM Podcasts to get some of your favorite Indian podcasts. We'll keep you going till this whole thing blows over. Thank you.